Well, I could no more love you than I could love a new species of bacteria. Well, I could no more love you than I could love a new species of bacteria. A new species of bacteria. New species of bacteria. A new species of bacteria. New species of bacteria. A new species of bacteria. New species of bacteria.
During the initiation, the candidate must
bear
one of his breasts. This is to show that he is not a woman.
But like Artemis, the bow arm should be bare.
This is to show that
Artemis
is not a woman.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Her Roman name, Diana, is one that most people will be familiar with.
Diana!
Okay, so this image here is from the clip that just played, and that's from the movie X-Men. So this is the hand of Apocalypse, and Apocalypse is also referred to as Ra and Elohim. So again, this is the hand of Apocalypse, and right when Apocalypse makes contact with this television screen, this is what's being said: a new species of bacteria. So that's important, at least for me in my research, because it sort of links what could be referred to as a deity or a god with bacteria. It links Apocalypse with bacteria. And that's also important because with CRISPR, which was discovered in bacteria, they are able to alter the human genome, or they're able to alter DNA. And they're able to alter it by adding what they refer to as bits and pieces of viral DNA to the individual being altered. So those bits and pieces of viral DNA then would be that of Apocalypse, or that of Elohim, or that of Ra, because it's Elohim, Ra, Apocalypse. All those names are used synonymously. This character that's making contact with this TV screen right when the phrase "a new species of bacteria" is being said. So also, this episode here is, which is playing on this TV, that Apocalypse makes contact with. This episode here is an episode of Star Trek. So I also played clips of that, and that centered around Apollo. So I didn't play it in this clip, but when Apocalypse walks into this room, it says, the television is playing, and it says, "I am Apollo." So you can probably add, I would say that's enough evidence to support it, Apollo to the list. Apocalypse, Ra, Elohim, Apollo. So that then would be the bits and pieces, what they refer to as the bits and pieces of viral DNA that's being added to these characters on account of bacteria, on account of the genome editing technology that was discovered in bacteria. So again, that episode centered around Apollo, and Apollo changes the outfit of this character here in that episode. And Apollo says, like Artemis, the bow arm should be bare. So I think it's also sort of important that Apollo uses the word bare there, because in Freemasonry they use the word bare. They use it to refer to the initiation of the bearing of the one breast, which is to show that that character is not a woman. So by Artemis saying, like Artemis, or like Apollo saying, like Artemis, the bow arm should be bare, to me that sort of hints at this Freemason ritual of the bearing of the one breast being presented, only it's being presented in a way that can be shown on television. Like this character couldn't actually bare its breast on television, at least not here in the United States, and still expect to be played on television. So that's sort of just another way they can present that same symbolism and still be seen. I've shown that with Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift at the Chiefs game had its jacket, sort of hanging off one side, exposing one shoulder for the entire duration of the game. So again, that's, to me, that hints at this Freemason ritual, the bearing of the one breast. Again, that's just a way that they can do it symbolically without actually exposing the breast and still be presented on television. So, like Artemis, like Artemis, that's what Apollo says, like Artemis, the bow arm should be bare. So Artemis is an ancient Greek goddess, and the equivalent, the Roman equivalent of Artemis, is Diana. So here's a statue of Diana, and you can clearly see one breast is visible in comparison to this other breast. So that's the bearing of the one breast being presented right there on this statue, this Roman statue of Diana, the equivalent of the Greek Artemis, which again is symbolism to convey the message that this is not a woman. So I also shown in that video clips of Wonder Woman, and that's because Wonder Woman is named Diana. So Diana is synonymous with Artemis. So because Wonder Woman is Diana, and Diana is the Roman equivalent of the Greek Artemis, Wonder Woman by default is going to be an androgyne. Like this character here, with this name here, is sort of carrying a title, the title of Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman is an androgyne. Here's the bearing of the one breast. Again, that's to convey the message that this character is not a woman. So, the symbolism being presented on this magazine cover also symbolizes the same sort of narration. Here is that hand symbolism, which is sort of the same hand symbolism that's being displayed here. It's sort of heaven and earth making contact. So Apocalypse, Elohim, Ra, Apollo could be sort of symbolic of heaven. And again, when that character touches this television screen, they speak about bacteria. And that's important because of CRISPR, the genome editing technology that allows them to alter DNA. So bacteria, in a way, is acting as the intermediate between heaven and earth, at least for these characters. That's how they're getting the, as they call, bits and pieces of viral DNA, the bits and pieces of Elohim, Apollo, Apocalypse, Ra, within these characters. So also being presented is the Revelation 20 that references the abyss. Here's the abyss being symbolized by this large body of water. Here's the rose being symbolized by this rose-colored dress. Here's the pit, which is synonymous with the abyss, being displayed here with flashing of this armpit, because it rose from the pit. It rose from the abyss. So this character, with this name here, again, playing Wonder Woman by default is going to be an androgyne. I mean, it says here, in a league of her own. The league being, you know, the race of these characters, these androgynes, who have the DNA of this Apocalypse, of this Ra, Apollo, or Elohim within their own DNA.